Hi, you guys. Happy Friday. I was reminded this morning of the importance of the diversity of our community, and it's so important. This is going to take all of us coming together. It's not just about science, and I am so tired of watching channels that either imply or outright call us stupid. That's not what's going on. We don't have ADD. We need to watch a bunch of different channels and pull it all together to explain what we're talking about. Sometimes you just can't throw everything at someone at once. You have to explain little bits at a time. And we absolutely have to stay appraised of what's going on, especially in the scientific community. We have to always stay innovative and keep up with current events. So the first one I would like to talk about is they found a big Trojan asteroid trailing Earth. It's 8 times bigger than any of the others. So why don't you watch this clip? So how did I know that? I don't have any kind of insider knowledge. The only person I've ever gotten info from just knows how to read the congressional and governmental records, which everything is in. It's precognition, it's reading sky. It's one of the many abilities that we're all coming together to figure this out. So it's important to stay on current events. Like the Mars rover, they just did a core sample, or tried to do a core sample. They thought they had it, they celebrated, then they looked, it wasn't there. It was almost as if the soil turned to liquid when they tried to do it, and then they said, oh well, it crumbled, but there were no little pieces. So it was like the planet avoided this. And like I said, since I was a kid, it's not the man on the moon or the man on Mars, it's the men in Mars. So let's watch this clip real quick.
Spinning creates an artificial gravity environment within the hollow center of the object, like an inverted planet, with the surface on the inside rather than the outside. NASA recognizes that long-haul space travel will only be possible if we can somehow replicate gravity. Attempts at recreating gravity in space. These too were based on the concept of a spinning ship.
Engineers, scientists looked at concepts for artificial gravity, gigantic structures in space, spinning around, where on the outer edges you had forests, you had cities, you had places where people could live.
In the 1960s, NASA begins ground-based experiments on artificial gravity, building a huge research facility at Langley. Its centerpiece is a space station-scale spinning rig designed for human guinea pigs.
So I guess they feel if they can master anti-gravity, they can master space travel. And I believe that's what CERN is all about. So now let's think about this swirling vortex thing that was flying through our skies across the United States that they say was SpaceX. Was that SpaceX? Was it interplanetary? Was it man-made? Who knows? But I tell you what, it wasn't normal and it hasn't happened before. So they're saying the only thing that can survive, the only type of creature that can survive on these planets that have the anti-gravity mechanisms inside would be like a jellyfish type object, which is almost like what we're seeing in the sky. And we're seeing these objects where we can kind of see inside of them and see the inner workings. Okay, so now, again, this is not my work. This is a video I saw on YouTube. Let's talk about dimensions. Okay, so we are in 3D, but what we see is 2D. If we're seeing a 4D object, we're going to be able to see all through it, like an X-ray, just like these clouds that we're seeing all through. We're going to be able to hear sounds and see colors and see different kinds of colors and different patterns, different kind of light. It's going to be a total different way of seeing. Because, okay, so let's say there's 2 points in a line, and then that line makes a square, a plane. That's 2D. Anyone on 2D can only see 1D. They can only see things moving around in a certain way. They can't see all around it. Then us in 3D, we see things in 2D. So we can see up and we can see down. But we got to think about seeing in 4D. Seeing in 4D is going to be that X-ray, that seeing through the movement of the inner workings, the next move, seeing sound, hearing colors. It's why people do that, the DMT trips. It's seeing in a way that we don't see now. And if we're seeing a 4D object, that's what we're seeing. That's how we're viewing it. And about this artifact, why I say it's like it's melting and I can see a crystal artifact in there. So now I'm going to jump to Neil Armstrong. Get some of my sun tea.
We have only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered. Breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
As odd as that sounds, we know he made that statement on the live radio that he saw something was watching him on the moon. Well, when he came back in later years, he did an exploration to the Amazon to find a metal library, to find what I'm calling an artifact. This place lined up with the summer solstice, and it glowed at the summer solstice. And this was not an easy place to get to. He really went through it to find this place, and it was made out of metal. I do believe these different artifacts placed around the earth are made out of different alchemic properties. Metals, crystals, different things, vapors we've never seen. And it is a library. It is a transponding point. It is a way of storing information like they did in Atlantis before writing. They didn't need writing because they stored it in a 4D object. It's right there. It's still there. You just can't see it. We can't see it because we can't see 4D yet, but we're learning, and these clouds are teaching us. So like I said, we're ahead of the curve. We're watching things, and we're learning, and we're changing. So it may seem like I'm skipping around, but I'm tying things together. The fact that they found a new, bigger Trojan asteroid should make you believe that I am trying to lead you honestly with everything that I'm finding, and I do think I'm being shown by Sky. So if you want to continue watching me, that's great. If you think it's all a lot of palooka, then watch if you want, see the pretty sky, but believe in what you believe in. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't have an agenda. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just simply showing you what I see. I think I can see things at a bit of a different spectrum, and I'm just trying to share that with you guys. Simple, plain and simple and innocent. Talk to you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Oh, I'll put on one more short video of Tiamat that I saw when I was out helping my dad. Okay, here it is. The footage you're about to see is the fast mover on the left, and the whip, you can faintly see it on the right. You can see it look for the eye.
You ready?